Good evening, City Council, City Manager Campbell, Interim Clerk Rutledge, distinguished guests, and my fellow citizens. In January, I stated that this community is at a fork in the road, that our cause is too important and time is too precious to waste any moment. I promised that we would act boldly and confront our challenges head on, and that's precisely what we've done in the past 6 months. The goals and objectives that I outlined in my first State of the City address in many ways mirror the strategic plan that Council recently voted to adopt. Council and staff worked very hard to create a straightforward, honest document that reflects the values and long-term goals of our community, and it clearly articulates measures to gauge our progress and effectiveness in moving forward and moving towards those objectives. I encourage citizens to take a look at the document, which is available on the city's website and in the lobby of City Hall. Like a majority of my council colleagues, I truly believe that this year's budget is a truly balanced budget. This is a long-term responsible solution to address the city's financial issues, not an approach that delays the inevitable or uses one-time solutions to systemic problems. Clearly, it can be difficult to even discuss revenue enhancement, and the decision cannot be taken lightly. I can confidently say that this course of action was absolutely necessary, considering the economic downturn of the last 5 years, painful cuts in state funding, and the decline of the city's tax base by nearly 20%. The increase, which will cost the average homeowner approximately 18 cents a day, will completely eliminate our budget shortfall, allowing Saline to continue to invest in the things that matter most, like infrastructure and public safety. While this budget does address some long-term major issues, we're not out of the woods yet. This solution does not completely rectify our predicament, so it's important that we work together to make other important steps towards finding solutions. We're already on track to doing just that. For the first time in our city's history, we are aggressively marketing all municipally owned vacant properties with a local, professional, commercial realtor. We understand that our long-term interests are best served when those properties can be transferred into the private sector. That means that properties can help open a new business or allow an existing business to expand, and will generate revenue by adding properties to the tax rolls. We're also continuing to explore new partnerships to streamline services and save money. The Rec Center Sustainability Task Force is looking at improving the financial stability of the Rec Center, recognizing that it is a profound asset to our community and serves our residents well. I'm also proud of the ad hoc group that I spearheaded along with School Board President Holden to look at strengthening the partnerships between Saline Parks and Rec and Saline Community Education. I'm optimistic that something tangible can come from both of these groups, particularly as recommendations will be made to Council by the end of summer. As a city, we continue to work to save residents precious resources in every action we take, working to establish parity among our bargaining units and non-union employees in their contributions to health care insurance, pay freezes, and contributions to post-retirement income. It's important to conserve resources now, but it's also vital to consider ways to save money in the long term. As a city council and as a community, we are pleased with the performance and the leadership of Police Chief Rennick. He had some big shoes to fill, but has risen to the task and demonstrated an extraordinary rapport with his staff and with the community at large. The police department has successfully transitioned to 12-hour shifts, and we are continuing to monitor this policy. The idea was offered by staff, and after thoughtful review and analysis, City Council voted to make the change. The fact demonstrates that Saline City government is not about top-down decision-making. We make decisions with deep appreciation for the needs and opinions of our on-the-ground staff. The change to 12-hour shifts also made it possible for us to promote 3 officers within the department. This represents a welcome culture change for this department, ensuring that talented staff know there are opportunities for advancement. Although not technically a part of city government, integral to our community's public safety system is our fire service. I have the honor of currently serving as chair of the fire board, and Councilmember Peters also serves on the board with me. We've begun to put in place a 10-year plan that will gradually increase staff compensation to be comparable with other fire safety professionals in our county. This increase is necessary to attract and retain talented staff, and they deserve it. On principle, I believe that those who risk their lives to keep us safe deserve a living wage. Our city is moving forward on comprehensive sidewalk inventory. Once the inventory is complete, we'll begin to talk about strategies to promote walkability and connectivity. This year, we're able to fund 2 vital road projects. The first on Saline River Drive, a residential neighborhood whose existing street dates back more than 2 decades. The other includes a portion of Woodland Drive in the heart of our industrial park. We're also working in preparation for a major street project on Ann Arbor Street in the next fiscal year. During my first 6 months as mayor, I've met individually and along with staff with a number of developers, owners of existing businesses, and people who are interested in making an investment in the Saline community. Obviously, not all these meetings will yield concrete results, but they are critically important. Business people and entrepreneurs need to know that their good ideas are welcome and supported by city leadership if they choose to open their doors or expand in our community. Just last Friday, we hosted a luncheon and program for some of our larger industrial and commercial businesses, and the response was very positive. We are committed to hosting these meetings more regularly, and we'll hold another one this fall that focuses on retail businesses and the service industry. I'm also proud to announce that at our last EDC and TIFA meeting, we commissioned an economic development work group, which will consist of board members, officials from the local Chamber of Commerce, and area business owners to look at the city's development plans, promotional materials, and assist with the implementing of a business retention and attraction plan that was provided to us by Ann Arbor Spark. I've always believed that good government communicates actively and aggressively with the people it serves, and volunteerism and civic engagement are also vital to realizing this goal. Related to our recently approved budget, we will be holding 2 town hall meetings, one on July the 25th at City Hall, and the other on August 6th at the Saline Senior Center. Not only is this a great opportunity for people to learn more about the budget we recently approved, but we also hope to hear from residents to hear their insights and perspectives on how best to move forward. We are already working on transferring the ownership and management of the municipally owned Be Saline website, which has been underutilized since its inception. The site should be managed by a core group of citizens with the aim to have it more connectivity and engagement with the Saline business community. Earlier this year, I talked about how important it is for all issue-specific task forces convened or established to include at least one community member, and that goal has been realized. In addition to the groups I mentioned, we also have reestablished the Oakwood Cemetery Task Force and created a Resident Support Services Task Force under the leadership of Councilmember Rhodes. Both groups are working aggressively to fulfill their respective goals. One of the reasons why this community is so exceptional is because people get involved, and we continue to need people to serve on our various boards and commissions. We also need people to support 3 upcoming signature events in our city: the 18th Annual Celtic Festival, which takes place next week, and of course Summerfest and Oktoberfest. This council has been, and will continue to be, forward-thinking. We are acting very aggressively and proactively on a number of issues, including looking at tax abatements, the impact of proposed elimination of state personal property tax revenue, and expanding public transportation and accessibility, and also considering a property maintenance ordinance, to name just a few. What I've discussed tonight is just a snapshot of all of the activity that has taken place in these first 6 months. In January, I mentioned one of my heroes, President John F. Kennedy. Tonight I'm reminded of another, President Harry Truman. I think of him because he understood the importance of speaking the truth, of seeking the truth, and acting boldly. He was never one to let political divisions or the wide scope of problems deter him from action. I'm confident that my colleagues will continue to partner with me and embrace the spirit so that we can move forward together. Thank you to Mayor Pro Tem Linda Tahar and Council Members Burgoyne, Peters, Rhodes, Gearbaugh, and Roth, and our hardworking and dedicated city staff. In closing, although Saline continues to face a whole host of challenges, I still believe that our best days are yet to come. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless Saline.